Good day, everyone. I am Neri Chris Kalin Gomez, and my assigned topic is about literary appreciation and valuing in and of prose. So, here's the definition of literary appreciations. When we say literature, describes as a variety of creative written or oral works of imagination. It also can be defined as imitation of life. It is an imaginary composition but not faithful record of reality as history because it is merely copies actual life, people, events, and situation. Here's the list of the great values of literature. Number one, entertainment, mastering of English language, emotional relief, social control. Literature also function as a means of direct experience. Literature mirrors life. Literature is a reservoir of culture. Literature serves as historical documents, social document, and finally literature is also a means of education and enlightenment. Literary appreciation according to Eugene Liu 2006. Literary appreciation refers to the evaluation of works of imaginative literature as an intellectual or academic exercise. In this process, the reader interprets, evaluates, or classifies a literary work with a view to determining the artistic merits or demerits or such a work. While Donaldson and Nielsen 2009 stated that it is the process by which one gauges one's interpretive response as a reader to a literary work. This means that the reader is able to gain pleasure and understanding for the literature, understand its value and importance, and admire its complexity. Literary appreciation focuses on the adequate grasp of definition and application of the following which may be encountered within text. Traditional literary devices, which is plot, character, metaphor, settings, and symbolism. Margaret's early stages of growth in literary appreciation. Stages which readers go through are added unto without dropping the previous stages. Thus, literary appreciation is a lifelong process. However, occasionally students are ill-equipped to handle transition from childhood literature to adolescence literature and fail at establishing literary appreciation. This may occur as a result of a student's late or early cognitive maturity. As a teacher, we must understand that in order to appreciate the literature, students must experience pleasure from their reading. Donaldson and Nelson 2009 declaimed that there are 7 stages of literary appreciation. Level 1, pleasure and profit. Literary appreciation is a social experiment. Level 2, decoding. Literacy is developed. Level 3, lose yourself. Reading becomes a means of escaping. Level 4, find yourself or discovering identity. Level 5, venture beyond the self. They call that going beyond me or assessing the world around them. Level 6, variety in reading. Reads widely and discusses experiences with peers. Level 7, aesthetic purposes or avid reader appreciates the artistic value of reading. There are 2 types of genre in literature. One is fiction and the second one is non-fiction. Types of nonfiction. Narrative nonfiction is information based on that fact that is presented in a format which tells a story. Essays are short literary composition that reflects the author's outlook or point of view. Biography is a written account of another person's life. Autobiography gives the history of a person's life, written or told by that person. Speech is the faculty or power of speaking. Oral communication, ability to express one's thoughts and emotion by speech, sound, and gesture. General genre of nonfiction. This is informational text dealing with an actual real-life subject. This offers opinions or conjectures on facts that reality, such as biographies, history, essays, speech, and narrative nonfiction. Here are the types of genres of fiction. Number one is drama. This genre is stories composed in verse or prose, usually for theatrical performance, which conflicts and emotion are expressed through dialogue and action. Poetry. The art of poetry is rhythmical in composition, written or spoken. This genre of literature is for exciting pleasure by beautiful, imaginative, or elevated thoughts. Fantasy is the forming of mental images with strange or otherworldly settings or characters. Fiction, which invites suspensions of reality. Humor is amusing or comical, full of fun, fantasy, and excitement, which meant to entertain and can be seen contained within all the genres. Fable is a story about supernatural or extraordinary people, usually in the form of narration that demonstrate a useful truth. Fairy tales or wonder tales are a kind of folklore or fable. Just like, for example, fairies, magical creature, usually for children. Science fiction is one of the genres of literature that is set in the future or an other planet, either actual or imagined. Short story is a fiction of such briefness that is not able to support any subplots. Realistic fiction is a story that can actually happen and it's true to life story. Folklore is a widely held but false and based on unsubstantiated belief. Example, songs, stories, myths, and proverbs of a person of folk that was handed down by word of mouth. Then historical fiction is a story which fictional characters and events in a historical settings. Horror is an overwhelming and painful feeling caused by literature that is frightfully shocking, terrifying, or revolting. Tall tale is a humorous story with blatant exaggerations, swaggering heroes who do the impossible with an air of nonchalance. Legend is a story that sometimes of a national or folk hero. Legend is based on fact but also includes imaginative material. Mystery deals with the solution of crime or the unrevealing of secrets. Anything that is kept secret or remains unexplained or unknown. Mythology is a type of legend or traditional narrative, historical events that reveals human behavior and natural phenomena by its symbolism, often pertaining to the actions of God. Fiction in verse is a full-length novels with plots, subplots, themes with major and minor character. Fiction of verse is one of the genres of literature in which the narrative is usually presented in blank verse form. Elements of its genre. Under the elements of fiction, there are plot, settings, and under the settings, you can see the conflict, symbol, point of view, and theme. And then the elements of nonfiction is point of view, whereas under the point of view, there is a character development, narratize, and dramatize. Now we're in valuing in and of prose. So what is prose? Prose is a form of writing or speaking that follows natural flows of speech and grammar. It is written ordinarily without intended metrical structure. What is the value of prose? Of course, to convey an idea, deliver information, or tell a story. So it is the way a writer fulfills their basic promise to a reader to deliver a story with characters, settings, conflict, a plot, and a final payoffs. So what are the benefits of learning prose? Of course, enables the students to understand the passage, to read fluently, to enrich their vocabulary, and to enjoy reading and writing.